Hello friends, I welcome you all for online course on non-conventional machining. In continuation of my previous lectures about mechanically energy based non-traditional machining processes, today we will discuss about ultrasonic machining. After watching this lecture, you will get answers of following questions. What is ultrasonic machining and its a working principle? Then which are the different equipments used for ultrasonic machining, then what are the process parameters and its effect on MRR. At the last you will get answer of what are the applications and advantages of ultrasonic machining. Let us move for first point, that is introduction. Ultrasonic machining is a non-traditional machining process. It is grouped under the mechanical group non-traditional machining process. It is employed to machine hard and or brittle materials, both electrical conductive and non-conductive materials. It uses a sharp tool, high frequency mechanical motion and abrasive slurry. In ultrasonic machining, material is removed by abrasive grains which are driven into the work surface by a tool oscillating normal to the work surface. This is about introduction. Let us move for working principle of ultrasonic machining. In ultrasonic machining, a tool of desired shape vibrates at an ultrasonic frequency about 15 to 20 kHz with an amplitude of around 15 to 50 micron over the workpiece. Generally, the tool is pressed downward with a feed force between the tool and the workpiece. The machining zone is flooded with hard abrasive particles, generally in the form of water-based slurry and hard abrasive particles present. As the tool vibrates over the workpiece, abrasive particles act as a indenters and indent both workpiece and the tool. The abrasive particles, as they indent the work material, would remove the same. Particularly if the work material is brittle, then due to the crack initiation, propagation and brittle fracture of the material removal happens. This is about working principle of ultrasonic machining. Let us move for what are the equipments used for ultrasonic machining. With the help of this figure, I can explain different components which are used for setup of ultrasonic machining. The components which are used for the ultrasonic machining are: first is the transducer. The ultrasonic vibrations are produced by this transducer. The transducer is driven by suitable signal generator followed by power amplifier. The transducer for ultrasonic machining works on the following principles: piezoelectric effect, magnetostrictive effect, electrostrictive effect. In ultrasonic machining, the principle of longitudinal magnetostriction is used. This kind of transducer is known as magnetostrictive transducer. The device that converts any form of energy into ultrasonic waves is called ultrasonic transducer. In ultrasonic machining, a transducer converts high frequency electric signal into high frequency linear mechanical motion, that is a vibration. These high frequency vibrations are transmitted to the tool via tool holder. Magnetostrictive transducers are most popular and robust among these all. The horn or concentrator is a waveguide which amplifies and concentrates the vibration to the tool from the transducer. These magnetostrictive transducers are made up of nickel or nickel alloy sheets. Their conversion efficiency is about 20 to 35%, which is lower than the piezoelectric transducer. Its efficiency is up to 95%. Hence, their cooling is necessary to remove waste heat. These magnetostrictive type transducers are available with power capacity as high as around 2.4 kilowatt. The maximum change in length, that is amplitude of the vibration, that can be achieved using this magnetostrictive transducer is 25 micron. This is about the transducer. Second element is tool holder. The tool holder transfers the vibrations and therefore it must have adequate fatigue strength. The material for tool holder are monel, titanium and stainless steel. Generally, the shape of the tool holder is cylindrical or conical or a modified cone with the center of mass of the tool on the center line of the tool holder. It should be free from nicks, scratches and tool marks to reduce fatigue failures caused by the reversal traces. Now, third element of ultrasonic machining is tool materials and tool size. The tool material employed in ultrasonic machining should be tough and ductile. However, metals that are very ductile like aluminum give very short life. Low carbon steel and stainless steels give superior performance. Long tool causes overstressing of the tool and brazed point. Most of the ultrasonic machining tools are less than the 25 mm long. Last element of this ultrasonic machining is abrasive slurry. Boron carbide is a fastest cutting abrasive and it is quite commonly used. Aluminum oxide and silicon carbide are also employed for this ultrasonic machining. However, the cost of boron carbide is about 20 times higher than that of aluminum oxide or silicon carbide. The abrasive is carried in a slurry of water with 30 to 60% by volume of the abrasive. Gauge or grain sizes of the abrasive has a strong influence on the material removal rate and the surface finish. However, when the grain sizes become comparable to the tool amplitude, a maximum rate of machining is achieved. Beyond this point, increase in grain sizes lower the machining rate. Gauge sizes of 200 to 400 are used for roughening and 800 to 1000 for finishing. Fresh abrasives cut better. Let us discuss process or controlling parameters of ultrasonic machining. First parameter is amplitude of vibration. We have to maintain amplitude in between 15 to 50 micron. Second is the frequency of vibration. It should be around 19 to 25 kilohertz. Then feed force, that is related to the tool dimensions. Then feed pressure, what are the feed we are giving from the transducer to the tool, that is the feed pressure. Then flow of the work material, again this is the important parameter. Then flow strength of the tool material. Then contact area of the tool. And the important abrasive size of the abrasive particle. So abrasive size that means the green side. Again, which material we are using as a abrasive material. So we can use aluminum oxide or silicon carbide or boron carbide. Also diamond or boron silicon carbide. Then volume concentration of the abrasive in water slurry. So that concentration we have to maintain in between 30 to 60% by the volume. Now next parameter is slurry. So in that slurry, abrasive particles will be there. So that particles having the hardness, size, shape and quantity of abrasive flow. So that point we need to consider. Again, liquid, that slurry it is in liquid, so it's a chemical property, viscosity, flow rate, that we have to take into account. Then pressure of that slurry, density also. Again, we have the more parameters, that is tool. Now in that tool, we have to take consideration of the material of the tool, then shape of the tool, what should the amplitude of the vibration, then frequency of vibration, then strength developed in the tool, and the last parameter is the work material. So about work material, again we have to consider the which kind of material is used for the work material, then impact strength of that work material, and the last is the surface fatigue strength of that work material. These are the control parameters or process parameters of ultrasonic machining.
Hopefully you might have enjoyed the lecture. Then please do like the video and know your thoughts in comments. Please do share this video among your friends and don't forget to subscribe to our channel. After subscription you can press the bell icon to never miss the notification regarding our new videos. Thank you so much.